Yo, yo, yo. One below. One man army. Binary star. Subterraneous. Breaking Records Radio. This how we represent. 110%. Let's go.
Hey yo, it's your boy Monster Man Rocco.
It's your boy Swagger Rock.
This is Snack the Ripper.
You have to go to Don't Know.
Master Ace. You are now rocking with the best. Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records, man.
Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records.
Breaking Records.
Breaking Records Radio.
Let's go.
Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records, man. Radio is like the place to be. I don't fuck strange music, dude.
Yeah. I just put out an audio book that basically takes everything and kind of like puts it into this like universe. So it's kind of like it's like the art of survival. That's the best way I could put it.
That's the Looma, right?
Say it again.
The Looma?
Yeah, the Looma. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, man. Now I thought that was interesting too. That you do audiobooks and stuff. How can people find the audiobook if they want to check that out?
Excuse me. Right now, the audiobook is on my Bandcamp page.
Okay.
There's a link on my Bandcamp page. You can go there. You can read the lyrics. You can read the story. There's a glossary. You can listen to it for free, basically, and decide if you want to buy it or not. You know what I mean? Download it. But yeah, eventually I'm going to add it to the other platforms. I just wanted to go Bandcamp first because, it's a different type of support system over there. But yeah, I'm just rolling it out slowly, man. It's literally like a universe of shit. So it's like I'm rolling it out slow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And looking forward to doing it too because I put a lot of work into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's the concept behind it?
Basically, the name of the story is called The Looma, The Legends of One Man Army, and, the fastest way I can describe it is like, it's basically about a planet called Waterworld.
Yeah.
And there's two suns that shine on the planet. There's a blue sun and there's a yellow sun, so there's a binary star system.
Okay.
And the sun shine on the planet and everything is green and it's growing and everything. And then the first, in the ancient world, the first empire is Kush.
Yeah.
So it basically explains the backstory it explains the backstory of the KGB. So in the story, the KGB is the Kush governing body, and the greatest pharaohs, they ruled the land. And then once upon a time, there's a supernova, and when the supernova happens, the blue sun supernovas, and people start freaking out because now there's only one sun. Now the sun sets, and for the first time, people see darkness. So now they can see the sun. They can see moon and stars. Astrology is born. Astronomy is born. All these different cults and religions are born. And this is where the Wolfman comes on the scene. And the Wolfman, he gets his power from the moon, and he controls the Conquistador army. And so the Conquistador army, they go out and they raid all these different villages, and they kidnap this boy named Wonder, and they take him back to Bird Island. And when he's in Bird Island, he's feeling all depressed because his brother Augie just got killed. His grandmother Yasni just got killed. You know what I mean? So he's on Bird Island, and then he meets E.T., and she helps him escape from Bird Island through these subterraneous tunnels, and they go back to Kush. And when they get to the Trapezoid temples, that's when he reads the prophecies, and he learns that he's the one-man army. And when he learns that he's the one-man army, then they go off, and they gotta take the slang lava, and they go and they forge the slang blade, and then they gotta go to the black hole, and they basically gotta go meet the two-headed dragon, and they gotta behead the two-headed dragon, and then they come back to Waterworld, and then they go fight the Wolfman, and they kill the Wolfman. That's just a nutshell, but it's a lot of symbols and metaphors. But all I did is I took all of my songs and turned them into a universe. So E.T., Rocket Ship, Two-Headed Dragon, Black Holes, the universe, the Wolfman, Supernova, all of these different, the evil itself, you know what I mean? Like a lot of the words are flipped backwards. So like Margonos is the name of the dragon, but like Margonos is S.O.N.O.G.R.A.M backwards. Yeah. All I'm doing is taking the legends of One Man Army and I'm putting them into a story. So it's basically the art of survival, man.
That's super dope.
Some people survive a black hole and they live to tell it. Some people survive a black hole and they live to tell about it, you know what I mean? Or some people survive a supernova and they live to tell about it. But I'm using all these characters to tell a story about life. But yeah, it's all songs though, and I got board games, and I got like my own scripts, and I got like characters and all this kind of shit. It's like a world, man. So, I'm excited about it, man. But yeah, thanks for asking too.
Yeah, no, that's super dope. Actually, that's super interesting. I'm really intrigued by like early world history and stuff too. So I like how you took that angle with it and kind of created a story in that pocket of time. Like, to me, that's super interesting.
Yeah, because I live in Cairo, and originally I was going to have the story like, this guy, he's on a quest, he goes to Egypt, he goes to the pyramids, he finds this box, whatever. And I was like, wait a minute, man, like, we already know about the pyramids in Giza, but there's other pyramids, there's other temples and other places around here.
Yeah.
And that's when I started shifting my focus, and then I said, Kush. And then I came up, like, Kush is not an original idea, but it's like, I'm shouting out the original kingdom of Kush and that whole kind of thing and celebrating it in a fantastic kind of way. And merging it with Waterworld, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there is like a lot of history element. Parts of the story take place in the rainforest. Parts of the story take place in space. So like from an educational standpoint, there's just a lot of words and a lot of things that you can't study it as fact, but it's like like some of the greatest fiction is based on like reality. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, hands down. And as well too before
and, I made all of the beats. So the Looma is like it's like 5 parts, and the total running time is like 2 hours and like 15 minutes or something like that. But it's 77 tracks.
Holy shit!
And I made all of the beats, and so the Legend of One Man Army. So technically, it's like 5 instrumental albums with me like doing spoken word on it. You know what I mean?
That's
so I'm
cool.
calling it an audio book, but that's really like it's like I'll just put out 5 albums basically. You know what I mean?
Yo, that's really cool, man. So is it like does it rhyme as well too, like spoken word, or is it just like the story, but you created instrumentals for like each chapter?
The whole thing rhymes, bro.
That's crazy.
The whole thing rhymes.
Holy shit, man. That's actually incredibly innovative.
Cool because it's like, and it's like it's not annoying, It's like it's kind of like if you're reading, you might not know it rhymes because you might not know the pattern of it. But if you read it out loud, I think it's fun if you read it out loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because without even beats, it rhymes. There's a pattern to it. There's a cadence and a rhythm to the words, even without the beats. So even if you was reading it, it would be like in the beginning and before the fall was the one and all. With no time to start, the word be was called and many creations installed. Actually, all was supposed upon a galaxy there were 2 suns shining at full capacity. A binary star system trafficking mutual gravity around a water world planet with it. It's like it's rhyming like that. You know what I mean? But it's like, but I'm telling stories though. Stories on stories on stories. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's super cool. That is so innovative, man. I can't think of anyone who's ever done anything even remotely similar to that. Like, that's super dope, man.
Nah, man, it's I mean, people wrote books before. People, we got audio books, but it's like, yeah, man, when it's a lot for people to digest. That's why I gotta like create like a universe around it. You know what I mean? But, But the people who just want to hear some beats, like it's just beats. Or if you just want to like do some word search puzzles, it's just that. If you just want to listen to the story, or if you want to read it, I just want to like, it's like a multimedia kind of project, but I'm just unrolling it like one piece at a time. So it's gonna come together. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's exciting, man.
How long did it take you to put this together?
If you get a chance to check it out on Bank. So it's funny because check this out. So I always wanted to write a comic book called One Man Army. Like, I got this character that's 20 years old. Like, I've been talking about putting out this book, right?
Yeah.
So, not last year, but last year or the year before last year, I told my kids when I was in Cairo, I said, yo, I got this idea I'm gonna take all of these songs, I'm gonna make a story, and I'm giving myself 10 days to write it. So they were like, okay. So I said, I'm gonna give myself 10 days to write this story. And so I jumped on a plane and from Cairo to Detroit, I think. Or no, it was Cairo to Seattle. I wrote half the story on the flight. And when I landed in the States, I was sending them like paragraphs, like, yo, check this out, check this out, check this out, check this out. And then on the flight back, I wrote the other half of the story, like really like the backstory. So I wrote this whole thing on a plane. You get what I'm saying?
Holy.
And I wrote the whole thing on a plane, and then and you know, like the other stuff, like, you know, the illustrations and stuff kind of came later. So when you ask me how long did it take me to put it together, I mean, I wrote it on 2 flights.
That's insane,
now, if you're
man.
asking me how long did it take to record the audio, if you're asking me how long did it take to write the audio, record the audio, I recorded that over a couple of weeks at a time, because, you know, I was like traveling and recording in different cities on my mic, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And I was like literally, it's funny because I was making all these beats on IG Live, just making beats, just inspired to make beats. And I had no idea that I was going to read the story over all of these beats. So when I started reading the story, like the whole thing is like 2 hours long, and I'm like, oh, I can't have one beat playing. I got to have a couple beats playing. And so I started feeding beats to the story, and I'm like, oh shit, like how many beats? And yeah, man, it's like 77 beats.
Holy shit, man.
You know, parts of it's depressing. Some, you know, it's like a soundtrack. You know, some parts of it is really like happy and shit. Some of it's really, I think it sets the mood. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, I went in, all the ad libs in the audio is from songs. So like when you'll hear like different parts of songs. It's pretty dope, man. It's like I'm really happy to even be able to share it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that's like the artistry behind you explaining it to me, now I'm excited to finish the interview, because then on my way home I'm literally popping Bandcamp on. I'm gonna start listening to that shit. Like, that sounds dope, man.
It's perfect for people who commute, because, like I said, the whole thing comes in 5 parts.
Yeah.
So part 1, instead of part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, it's called single, double, triple, quadruple, and quintuple.
Okay.
And that shout out to the double essays. So it comes in 5 essays, and they're all like 25 minutes apiece, like, you know, 23, 24 minutes. So if you listen to part 1, I mean, it's literally like about 22 minutes, and then you can listen to that more than once. So you can go to part 2. Part 2 is like 24 minutes. Part 3 is like 22, 23 minutes. Part 4 and part 5 is like 42 minutes.
Oh,
so
shit.
you don't have to listen to it at like 2 hours. You can listen to it in pieces if you want and digest it, man. But because it's like 5 albums.
Yeah.
You know, and like you can listen to the whole thing as one story, or you can like pick favorite beats. You know what I mean? You can like learn the backstory, or you can listen to it in any kind of order. But yeah, man. I'm gonna put out the audio book first, and then I'm gonna drop an instrumental version of it where people can just listen to the beats.
Ah, that's dope. That's real dope. Yeah, man, I really like that idea. That's super innovative. I'm excited.
And the illustrations, all the illustrations, Naeem did the illustration. This dude is like, he was 15 when he started, but he's like a 15, 16-year-old like illustrator, and he didn't illustrate the maps or the constellations, but he illustrated all the graphics, like all the characters, the dragon, the 2-headed dragon, the sword.
Wow.
You know, E.T., Wonder, he illustrated the characters. So yeah, this kid is 16 years old, man. He's like the future, man. He's pretty dope.
Yo, that's crazy, man.
And another friend of mine, Severa, her name is Art Savvy. That's her handle on IG. She illustrated the maps and the constellations. Like, those tell their own story. I mean, it's a lot of different parts. So, you know, it's like there's text, I got my own scripts, like my own little like hieroglyphs. There's characters, there's constellations. So you could look at it. You could look at a picture of space, and just in that picture, you see the universe. You see the slang blade. You see the one-man army. You see the ET. You see binary star. You see water robots. All you see is stars. It's there because the universe is so vast. It's crazy how this story is told, man. It's really the art of survival, man. You really, I think people would be doing themselves a favor, like just in the name of hip hop, to even just experience something like this at least once. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. That is like, I'm actually blown away. Like when
But
you by explaining it.
I don't want to be the one to say it though. I want other people to check it out. I mean, kind of like with Master of the Universe, we just kind of put it out and kept it moving.
Yeah.
And it's people like you that's telling other people like, yo, you got to hear this album. You got to check it out. So because that's my experience, I put my faith in hip hop and the underground and like who supported when I only had a 12-inch. I put my faith in the NE 500, man. Like if you build it, they will come. So I'm not worried about it. I'm just gonna plant the seed and like watch it grow. It's been growing. This is not the beginning of it. I'm just basically continuing, you know, the saga. The saga continues. You know, this is just a different form. You know, like a different part of the movement. Literally like the next chapter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's dope, man. And for the people, let them know as well how they like because you said it's available only on Bandcamp right now, right?
Yeah, right now it's available on Bandcamp. You know, and some people are gonna say, what about Apple? What about Spotify? It's gonna come there soon. You know what I mean? And like, but yeah, like, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but like when you go to Bandcamp, you know, you can support the artist by downloading the music and actually buying it, not just streaming. You know what I mean?
And it's direct artist to fan.
You know, want to support. Exactly. So that's why I kind of those people like a preference. You know, no shades to people that streaming on those platforms because those platforms are good as well. You know, but that's why I chose Bandcamp first. Like, you know, I could post the lyrics, I could post the glossary, I could post all these things. Another thing with Bandcamp too is I can set my own prices, right?
Yep.
So right now, part one is on sale for $1. Part 2 is on sale for $2. Part 3 is on sale for $3. 4 is $4 and 5 is $5. That kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just people can kind of like spend whatever they want to spend. But like I said, even if you don't want to buy it, do yourself a favor and go listen to it at least once, man. It's like it's nothing like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's free to just listen to it, you know. But yeah, it's gonna eventually. So I put it on Bandcamp first. I'm gonna put it on the music streaming sites as an album first, and then I'm gonna go to Audible and Amazon and all that as an audio book. But like, you know, I look at it as a book, but I'm also a recording artist, and so I wanted to be true to that, like that tradition, like the oral tradition and the recording tradition. That's why it was important for me to even like make the beats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all of that, when you listen to the audio book, it's not just the story, the effects, the production, the beats, all of that's the Looma. It's all one man army. It's all the soundtrack, the mix. I mean, and D. Will out of Kansas City, Conductor Williams, he did the mastering. But yeah, you know, it's just the art of survival. It's all art. It's multimedia. I got board games and like I got a double essays board game coming soon. Yeah, man, it's just all rhymes transformed into songs and stories and games and cards and audiobooks and stuff. You know what I mean?
That's super dope, man. I really like that a lot. I'm excited to check that out too.
And it's crazy because like, so all the questions you asked me just now in the interview, I talk about all of this stuff in the Looma, but it's in a biographical. So like even like I know how the cage bird sings. Like there's a bird island in the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know like that kind of thing. But it takes all of those songs and it flips them into characters. So like, you know, asking me how it, and I'm not really talking about anybody in specific. I'm not talking about. There's a character named Pose, but you know what I mean. Like the character is totally sci-fi. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a character, and like really all of these characters are really one person. You know, these characters are really one man army. You feel what I'm saying? It's really like one person. All the characters represent one person, but like the many dimensions of a person and how you deal with like, you know, there's themes. So
yeah.
there's like a man versus nature theme. There's a man versus beast theme in there. There's a duality, like, you know, there's a man, you know, man versus self theme. There's a man versus woman theme in here. Like,
yeah.
There's many different things. There's a dark versus light. There's good versus evil. You know, there's all these different dualities and different things that represent binary dualities and binary stars and a binary system. It's just a lot of symbols and a lot of metaphors. So, you know, on the surface, it's just beats and rhyme shit, you know, but like if you want to get deep, it's history, it's philosophy, you know, it's it's a journey, yo. It's definitely an epic journey, you know.
That's super dope, man. I'm looking forward to checking it out. Now I'll keep you posted too as I peep what I think about it, but it sounds super interesting, man. Like I'm excited to check this.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I like about you as an artist, man, is that it's just innovative, you know what I mean? It's inspiring, like you know what I mean?
I mean, that's what art is. I mean, that's my job as an artist. I don't speak on other artists and what artists should be doing in general. I just know for me, I'm always learning, always creating, and always, you know, working on that canvas. Whether I'm making beats or whether I'm writing or whether I'm drawing or cooking food or whatever it is, and you know, just trying to feed my whole self. And all of that self is me as a self. Like, you know, I'm not just an artist. Like when I cook, right, or when I travel or whatever, all of those things impact my art. Everything I read impacts my art. Sports, working out impacts my art. You know, but not just my art. Like me as a human, me as a person, me as a friend, me as a brother, me as a neighbor, and yeah, so I like to think in a way where like everything's connected. You know, I'm always paying attention. I don't like to count anything as insignificant. You know, and so the same thing with my art. I'm really big on details. You know, like you know, and there's just different layers to the words. You know, because words mean so many different things. So I'm really, you know, I don't mind if people don't get it the first 1 or 2 or 3 listens, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if the people don't want to go past that, that's fine. But like for the people that do, they're gonna enjoy it again and again and again because I put a lot of work into it. It's a lot of layers, you know what I mean? A lot of details.
Yeah.
For the people who appreciate that, you know?
Dope, man. Super dope. And yeah, man, like just it's super inspiring, man, just to see that level of artistry. And that's one thing I also appreciate about you as an artist is the detail, you know what I mean? The detail and the lyrics, the structure, just the way it's worded. Like you're so well spoken when you're trying to get a certain point across too.